In today's video, I am in San Antonio, Texas, where I get bagpiped into the Alamo and do a special tour of the place. So thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're new, and everybody hit the thumbs up and leave me a comment down below. Good morning everyone, welcome to another video from right here in Texas. This is our first full day here and I'm very excited because the Scottish Society of San Antonio, that's really cool that there is such a thing, have invited me out for a bit of a day out really, and I'm so excited to meet them all. Organised by Peggy, who watches these videos, and a number of other members. I don't really know what's in store. I know that we're going to the Alamo for a bit of a tour, and they've also promised me some other kind of surprise as well, but I don't know what that is yet. So we're getting ready now, just had a shower and we're about to head out into the San Antonio heat. It's very hot. Apparently the heat here is much hotter earlier than it usually is. So I'm kind of struggling a little bit. I'm going to put some sun cream on. Yeah, Scottish Society of San Antonio, thank you very much for inviting me out for today. So excited about that. And to all you guys watching, thank you very much for tuning in to all these videos. Very much appreciate it. There's a whole playlist, or a bunch of playlists down below from this whole journey. Go and check some of the other videos out if you haven't already. And hit subscribe if you're new here, that would be grand. Now let's go out and hit the road. Now where's my cowboy hat? I can't go anywhere without the cowboy hat. Not in this sunshine. It's practical, not just a fashion choice. So welcome to San Antonio, Texas. On the right of this picture is Peggy Strout, a member of the Scottish Society of San Antonio, and a proud Texan who is also proud of her Scottish ancestry. She invited me to meet some of the society members for a personal tour of the Alamo, a famous battle site that will be internally a legend in Texas lore. Playing the bagpipes on the left is David Sutherland, and I was amazed to find out that they were piping me right into the Alamo for a very special occasion. We stopped right in front of the gates of the Alamo with all of the tourists watching, and a well-dressed man with a familiar accent turned up. This turned out to be Andrew Morrison, the Viscount Dunrossil, who's an honorary British consul, and he presented me with something on behalf of San Antonio's Mayor Ron Nirenberg and the people of San Antonio.
Hereby known that Shaun and Tekka Alexander have on this day been made honorary citizens of San Antonio, Texas.
Wow.
And under this charter shall hold and enjoy a place of high esteem in the minds and hearts of the people of this city. Presented this 29th day of May 2022, Ron Nirenberg, Mayor.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you. That's awesome.
And Ron Nirenberg comes to our events. He used to compete in the Highland Games here and has a kilt. And
fantastic.
We did a celebration, what, 3-4 years ago when it was the 300th anniversary of the birth of San Antonio. And we did a river parade. And when I asked him if he wanted to take part, he said, well, can I wear my kilt? So he's very proud.
Excellent.
Of this, and
thank you very much.
Congratulations.
This is a huge honour.
And it will fit in your suitcase.
Oh yeah, definitely. No, this is absolutely fantastic. I really appreciate you guys all coming out, and it's really great to meet you all. And that was amazing as well.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Great to see you. Thank you.
You want to put it back in the...
yeah, somewhere safe.
Safety.
Yeah, for sure. There you go. Great stuff, thank you. I had no idea how strong the connections were.
During the siege, whenever they were, like, I don't know if Andrew shared with you, but Davy Crockett played the fiddle, and John McGregor played the pipes, and they serenaded the Mexican army. But yeah,
and got all the Texians riled up when they were supposed to leave in the middle of the night. I blame the piper.
Well,
Yes. When I was a little kid, we knew that there was a legend of a bagpiper in the Alamo, but we weren't sure if it was a legend or for real. And then we had no idea who his name was. And then somebody did a little research, found his home, Dull, Perthshire. Yeah. And they were like, oh, yeah, that's John McGregor.
So Malcolm McGregor, who's the chief of Clan Gregor, has been here to the Alamo and is incredibly proud of that connection to the Alamo.
This was an amazing, incredible surprise. I am now an official honorary citizen of San Antonio, and thus an honorary Texan. How cool is that? Well, that was a really cool experience. Can't believe we got it. Right, we're about to enter the Alamo now. We've got our audio guide, and it'll be good to get out the sun a little bit. After being presented with this amazing honour, Viscount Dunrossil, Peggy and all the other society members gave me a private tour of the Alamo, which turned out to be absolutely fascinating. Every Texan will know the story of the Alamo. Remember the Alamo! And I was also fascinated to learn that a very large percentage of those who defended the Alamo were either directly Scottish or were of Scottish ancestry. And this is why the Scottish Government presented a stone to the Alamo, which sits inside the main hall, and also why there is a saltire flag. Let's see if we can find the Scottish stone. It'd be cool if we can see it. Oh, there you go. That's fantastic. I love it. Look at the flag as well. Huh. Yeah. Viscount Dunrossil sits in a unique position, being that he is a man from the UK, holds a title, is very highly connected to the Scottish clans, and yet he lives right here in Texas. So I wanted to ask him a few questions about Americans of Scottish ancestry and how they connect with modern Scotland. So one thing I'm quite interested in is you obviously coming here as a Scot. How do you find you were embraced by the local people who were of Scottish ancestry? Because it's obviously a bit of a disconnect between them having ancestry from maybe 5 generations, 4 generations back. I kind of it's something I've been playing with in my head, like between modern Scots and then Scots who are maybe from quite a few generations back.
There are a lot of different aspects. One of the things is I think modern Scotland tends to think of a lot of what goes on here as tart and tat.
Yeah.
And
it's very unfortunate.
Down the noses. So I mean, I remember being worried before the gathering in 2009. How would Edinburgh as a city have received? I mean, in the end, it worked fine.
Yeah.
It was very gracious, but there was a big concern of it.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons is that most of the population of modern Scotland lives in the central belt.
Yeah.
And most of them are not of Highland descent. Back at the time of Culloden, over half the population of Scotland lived in the Highlands and spoke Gaelic as their first language. And instead we have something that's called Scots, the Scots language today, which until the year 1500 was called English. And Scot means a speaker of Gaelic originally. So the culture, the true culture in some ways, is honoured more by the diaspora over here than it is back in Scotland.
Absolutely.
Which is wanting to be moving ahead and moving on and being modern. And I get that, and that's great for modern Scotland. But this is important.
Yes.
What these people are cherishing and observing. And I go to a lot of these Highland Games in this country. We have one here, obviously, but I try to go to Grandfather Mountain in North Carolina and Stone Mountain in Georgia. And they're very impressive. And so, yes, it goes over the top, but there is a balance to be struck. Where, and I try to stay
somewhere
sensible in this, where you try to honour the enthusiasm and the respect for the heritage, but you also try to just gently nudge it in the direction of something that is accurate occasionally, and make sure. And I think most people want that. They want to be accurate.
Yes, absolutely. So you know, I think you hit the nail on the head. You know, a lot of modern Scotland is based on, you know, the big cities of Edinburgh and Glasgow, the Central Belt, and a lot of people there, they just don't have that kind of connection to that Highland culture anymore. Whereas the people here do.
And maybe their ancestors never did.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you think about people and before, you know, Preston Pans. There was such a strong cultural divide between Highland and Lowland at that time. And now the Highlands, I mean, you know, if you're really cynical about it, they lost and they don't exist anymore.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the people are all, I mean, Glasgow's got a lot of people of Highland ancestry. Edinburgh has a few.
But it's not, it's not the same. You could argue actually the strongest part of that culture is now here.
Exactly. We as an organisation are aware of is that the chiefs are basically back in Scotland. And the clans are over here. And so they try to come out for these games on regular occasions. And there was a video series put together back in the late 90s, I think it was, or 80s, called The Blood is Strong. Have you ever seen this? It's worth looking out for if you get a
I'll
chance.
check it out, I've not heard.
And in that, Lord Godfrey MacDonald, who's still the chief of Clan Donald, is interviewed in North Carolina, and he's come out for Grandfather Mountain for one of the big games there. And he talks about how embarrassing it is to be lionized by the descendants of people that his ancestor kicked off their lands and sent to America.
So clearly the connections between Texas and Scotland run very deep indeed, and I would feel so privileged to have received such an honour, and to have received a tour of the Alamo by the Scottish Society members. Well, that was fascinating to learn about the Alamo, all about the history. Peggy, thank you very much for organising this.
You're very welcome. It's our pleasure.
It was great.
Welcome to Texas.
Thank you, and I'll never forget. Remember the Alamo. I'll use that as a battle cry whenever I'm up against something back in Scotland. But,
and they'll go, what?
It was fascinating. Great story. How many times have you been to the Alamo? It must have been quite a few.
Quite a few. I've only been in. That was my second time.
Oh, really?
But we've been here many times because of Tartan Day. It's our special. It's our special significant spot, I guess. And because we're Scots and we're in San Antonio, it's only appropriate that we have the Alamo as part of it.
Yeah, for sure. There you have it, the defender of the Alamo. The cannon. Is it the cannon? Yeah? Did they have this cannon in storage somewhere for a while? I guess all the wood has obviously been restored, but the cannon from the Alamo. Brilliant. So we're going to a British pub called Mad Dog. Cheers. Thank you very much. It's wonderful to be here. We ate some good food, drank some good drinks, and talked more about the amazing connections between Scotland and San Antonio. Never thought I'd end up in a place like this, in Texas. Wow. That was really good. I didn't have fish and chips. I love they've got all these rivers coming through the city. Look at that. Like everywhere you go, there's just water flowing. It actually, despite how hot it is, it does make it cool down a little bit. What a day that's been so far. And it doesn't end there. So we were made honorary citizens of San Antonio, Texas. That was just incredible, signed by the mayor. Right now, and I'm running late, I'm meeting a bunch of people who watch my videos on the riverfront, on the river walk here in San Antonio. I need to get going, and I thought it'd be a perfect opportunity, even though I've just bought the hat, I'm going to use the hat. But before I get the hat on, it's still all white, look at that, that's the sun cream on me. And it is required because I don't want to end up singed, and that could happen right on top of the air conditioning here. I'll turn it off. This is a perfect opportunity because, don't know if you remember, a few months ago I was sent this gorgeous thing by one of my viewers. I didn't know what it was, but it turns out it's a bolo tie. I don't know exactly how to use it, but it goes like that, kind of. And it looks great. I'm not sure if this shirt with this matches really, but that's how it's going to be. And I've got my new hat as well, which I'm going to put on. Hopefully it all matches nicely together. Well, this is the most expensive piece of clothing in general I think I've bought for maybe ever. I was a little bit taken aback by that, but you know what, I wanted a really good memory of Texas. And what better memory to get than a proper cowboy hat. Does this match? I think it does. I think we're good to go. Alright, we're off out to the riverbank, the river walk rather, to meet my fellow citizens. I don't know who's going to be there. We've always with these things, like it could be 5, it could be 20, it could be 30 people. I'm always just so grateful when people show up and say hi when I'm travelling around. Hopefully I wanted to try and look the part a little bit, but also I didn't want to look too much costumey. I look a wee bit costumey, but that's fine. I'm excited to be going and seeing. I'm excited to be going out and meet people. That's what this is all about. This sun here in San Antonio is fierce.
Your shirt really matches your hat.
I think so.
The same color.
Yeah, the weather's severely hot, even though it's evening now. And we're off down to the river walk. They're behind me, further that way. Right, when I go round, say peso then. It's on video, right? 1, 2, 3. Alright guys, we are back in the hotel. That was an absolutely incredible first day here in San Antonio, Texas. We had such a fantastic time today. We met some of the members from the San Antonio Scottish Society, or the Scottish Society of San Antonio. You know, it was also really cool to meet the Viscount Dunrossil, who presented us with our citizenship, our honorary citizenship today. This is the guy here, very, very nice man. Lord Andrew Morrison, and he visits Scotland quite a lot, and I believe he's going back this year and has a lot of involvement with the clans, so that's really cool. Somebody out here in Texas who has that representation in connection to Scotland, and then all the people from the Scottish Society as well, like they're just such a good bunch. Good fun, and I did not expect this, to be piped into the Alamo, that famous location, and to be honoured with this. From the city of San Antonio. This here is our certificate of citizenship, which is just bizarre to say, honorary citizenship. That is cool. From the city of San Antonio. That is a beautiful thing which I will be keeping really good forever. I'll be hanging it on my wall or something, or maybe even have it framed. That is awesome. Shaun and Tekka Alexander, not just me, also my wife Tekka, have on this day been made honorary citizens of San Antonio in Texas, and under this charter shall hold and enjoy a place of high esteem in the minds and hearts of the people of this city. 29th of May 2022. Sealed, stamped and signed by Ron Nirenberg, who is the mayor of this city. That is mind-blowing, you know? I come here and I make these videos on YouTube trying to bring connections with people across the pond from Scotland, United States, bring people together and tell stories and share what I find, and to be honoured in this way is really heartwarming and makes me feel like all the work I've been doing over the last few years is definitely worth it. So, you know, huge thanks to all the people who arranged that and surprised us with it. It was incredible. I have San Antonio in my heart forever now, and as an honorary citizen, I guess I'll be coming back again and again and again in future. So that was it for today's video. Thank you for watching, I really appreciate it. And until the next adventure, hope you have a good night, morning, evening, afternoon, or whatever time of day it is, wherever you are in the world. Take care.